Look at all the colors. Alright, so I just sent my laptop in for repairs. Kind of sad because I'm going to be out of a really good... I came upstairs to work on my old computer, try to get that up and working as a replacement for right now. And I just remembered I have a meeting, so I got to do that first. So I'll be right back. Alright, so my meeting just ended. I'm actually not sure what happened in it, but it wasn't a lot of information for me. But I was able to answer a couple questions to some other teachers. And now that I look around my room, my office right now, before I even get started on my computer, I'm actually going to take some time to clean up because this is a mess. So I've got this pile of papers over here, and I haven't looked at these in a really long time, so I've got to go. Goodbye, trash. Alright, so before I show you guys what's wrong with my computer, I'm going to tell you guys there's two things that are really wrong with it. The first thing is that the CPU, the processor, actually keeps overheating a lot. And I have a program on there called Specky that'll show you what the heat is. And so what I hope to fix the problem is some thermal paste onto the CPU. So I watched a couple videos about how to apply thermal paste. Should be really straightforward. Now keep in mind that my old desktop is actually about 8 years old now. I think I bought it in the summer of 2012, so it's just right around 8 years. And before I had any serious issues with it, it probably lasted 7 years. So probably about almost a year now. I've been having on and off issues with it, and then it's honestly just been sitting up here. So that's the first problem, is the CPU overheating. The second problem, and a less priority right now, is that my old hard drive is actually starting to fail. So it's not a solid state drive, it's a spinning disk hard drive. And the issue with that right now is it has a lot of media on it that I've had for years and years and years, and I don't want to lose it. But since it's dying right now, I bought a new drive to transfer that over. And it's just going to take a really long time, and with it dying, it's actually causing more issues when I actually try to put it on. So I'm going to try to move that stuff, but that is less of a priority than actually getting the CPU temperature down. So I'm going to work on that right now, and you guys are enjoying me. Alright, so this monitor that I'm hooking up here is actually an old monitor that I just had lying around. So I'm going to use this monitor for this desktop, which is the one I'm trying to repair here, and I just need to hook that up first. Alright, so here's the thermal paste that I'm going to apply to my CPU. And this is my old hard drive with all the media on it, and like I said, I already took it out, and I had the replacement in the case already. I have this one connected by USB. It's a SATA adapter, so that's what I'm going to work on later. So I'm going to disconnect that real quick. Alright, and I'm just going to set this over here to the side. And I actually just looked it up. When it comes to thermal paste, it says to apply thermal paste every 6 to 12 months. So I don't know like what that means. The fact that I haven't done that in 8 years, if that's going to be a big issue. But we'll see. But first, before I even start to pull this out and apply it, let's plug this bad boy in, where that cable might be. So plug that in there. Do I have the flip turned? Switch flipped. Alright, and let's hit this power button. And there's my monitor turning on. Let's hope it turns on, actually, at this point. We'll see. I don't see a lot happening, though. No signal. Well, let's see what that problem is.
1 hour later.
Alright guys, I've got some good news. It's definitely interesting. So you can see that something is displaying on the monitor, and that's because I'm using this school laptop that I have. And so it's kind of weird. I had in my desktop two cables, an HDMI and a DVI, and neither of them were working. I have another HDMI cable. I tried that HDMI cable with my laptop, and that one worked because the other HDMI cable did not work. So I'm not sure why that is, but let's see if I can use this HDMI with this desktop and get it to work out. So we'll see. Alright, time to fire it up with cross your fingers. Alright, that's blue light on the bottom right. It's getting signal. And there it goes. Alright, it's powering up. Perfect. Alright, and here's a program that I wanted to show you guys. I know it's going to be a little bit hard, but I'm not going to be doing a screen recording of this just because I on this computer I can't do the screen recording of the error because obviously it has the error. So I just booted this up, and if I go over here to summary, and this program's called Specky. See that? There we go, Specky. And what that program does is it'll show us like the specifications of your computer. And you can see like this computer is pretty old. It's an i5, which is really strong, but it's 3rd generation. We're already in 10th generation. What is really important to see here, and I'm just in the summary view, okay? And you can see the temperatures. The temperature, let me zoom in here. The temperature of the motherboard is 26 degrees Celsius. The temperature of the graphics card is 36 degrees Celsius. So all that's happening. But what you see here, you might have seen a jump right there, is that the CPU temperature is jumping really high already, and I just turned it on at 71 Celsius. I think it spiked at 78 degrees Celsius. And you can't have CPU temperature that high. It'll just degrade the chip right there. And so my job today is to take that chip and apply again this thermal paste to it so that we will be able to have the proper temperature here and boot it up again and go from there. So I'm going to try that out. All right, here we go. So as I'm looking at the motherboard here, so this is my graphics card. You can see it's kind of falling apart. You can see like there's a lot of dust in here too. You can see all the dust right here. Yuck. But that's my CPU right there. And the first thing I'm going to have to do is unplug the computer from any power source and then get at the CPU. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll get the camera back on. There we go. So now that that's in focus, you can see like kind of like all the scarring that's on there, and that's pretty much like all heat. And right there, you can see it a little bit. That's the CPU. That's the processor right there. I'm not going to take it out, but all I'm going to do is apply the thermal paste on top of it. You can see like kind of like there's scarring on there. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit with a microfiber cloth, and then we'll get going. Alright, here we go. So I've got it here, and it's just like a syringe. So all I'm going to do is put like 5 little bitty globs onto there. That's what I've seen in the videos. Go down a little bit. It's pretty difficult with one hand. Okay. 3, 4, and 5. Alright, and that's all you need. I may have put a little bit too much on this first one here, but that's literally it. That's all I'm going to do. Okay, I'm not even going to spread it out at all. All I'm going to do is bring this cooler right back onto it, plug it back on, and that pressure, when I put this cooler right back onto the top of it, the pressure is going to flatten it all out, make sure it all gets evenly spread out where it needs to be. That's all you got to do. Alright, so I picked it up just to make sure it was applied well, and it seemed to be going pretty good, so I'm going to tighten this down. No? There we go. Alright, so now it's on there. And pretty much it's ready to turn on. So I'm going to turn it on and see how that affects the CPU temperature. Alright, I've actually had the computer running now for about 20 minutes. And you can see that this temperature is a solid temperature. There is nothing wrong with it. 49 degrees Celsius is there's no overs there. Like, it took like 2 seconds last time for it to jump up to 70 degrees, and right here it's just holding steady. Initially when I turned it on, it did jump up to like 60 degrees, but 60 degrees fine. You really don't want it over 70 degrees, but this is great. All right, I've got it to this point, ready to reset this PC. I am so ready. And this should come back together. I'm excited. Let's go. It's gonna be a while to download everything and put everything back in, but I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how this turns out, and if it gets me back a computer that is powerful enough to handle everything that I do in a separate location. So I have to give up on my computer fixing endeavor now. There's my computer, and there's the CPU cooler that is not doing its job. So that's been fired. I'm gonna pick up a new fan tomorrow and install it, and hopefully that fixes all of my problems. So stay tuned. All right, so here's the good news. It's a new day. Right here, I have my new CPU cooler, so that's definitely going to help. The bad news is it's almost 1 o'clock and I have another meeting, so it's gonna have to wait. But after the meeting, I will definitely have it in, and I will definitely show you guys if that fixes my problem. So crossing my fingers. Let's go. Let's see how this works. There it is. So I was actually watching a video, and it says, can you see that? It says, please pull off this label before inserting. Seems like a very smart thing to do. Alright, so here's a fan. And here's like the heat sink. This is a box. Let me see this box. Okay. So this, alright, so this is gonna go where the screws are. I already have a plate in there, so I wonder if I need to use this one. I'll change it out just because. And then got some screws here, some instructions here. Don't care about that. All right, let's get this started.
Robbie, he is not looking. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Asher, stop distracting her.
And what's the issue?
Alright, so I've done that, but I'm on this part, and it looks like this little thing just sits on it like this. And it kind of looks like that in each picture, but then I have to put it up like this, and I think it would just, see how it kind of just tilts? Okay, so I just watched a British guy do this, and he was just like, as simple as that. So there, that way, now I'm gonna have that much extra room to put this down. All right, so now from the video, I also noticed that this one doesn't have like a really hand press, but this one does. So I attached this side first, which is what I was tending to do, and then put this side on. All right, and with some extra bending, I was able to actually like get it down this time. Let's look at these instructions. Done that. See, now that I see it, I was like, oh, clearly the one that's not the finger with the like the little finger press, and then the one with the finger press. All right, so now it's just I connect the CPU fan, then it goes down there just like this, I think. There's a little pin right there. Yep, and it connects right on. All right, so now that this is on here, I'm gonna slide this back in. Cool. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug it in and I'll let you guys see how it goes when it comes back. Alright, so those are the fan colors. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I think I actually put the fan too high, but it's powering up now. Okay, so I've got it up and it hasn't shut down yet, which is important because last time it wouldn't even like turn on. Okay, I'm gonna turn on Specky. Okay, and tell me what you see, Specky. So it's gonna analyze like the temperature and everything. And oh my god, right now it's at 37 degrees, 35 degrees. Now ambient room temperature with the AC going on is about 74 degrees Fahrenheit. And so let me see what 74 Fahrenheit to Celsius is. 23. So it's a little bit, the CPU is a little bit hotter, but we just got to watch it and see. So I'm going to come back in about 15-20 minutes and see if this is actually cooling stuff down. Alright, here we are in the BIOS. Right now you can see over there that the CPU temperature looks fine. 36 degrees Celsius. Saved the changes and reset. We're booting it up. Now I'm going to check the temperature in Specky. Alright, so this is the second time I've turned it on. I'm still holding between like 40, high 30s and like 45 degrees Celsius, which, as you remember before, was like in the 60s, and I was like, oh, that's okay. But this one is so much better. This is really dissipating the heat and moving it away from the CPU. Does not look like I've done any damage to this thing, which is huge. So I'm going to start downloading some programs, the ones that I'm going to use, deleting some apps that come with the computer when I reset it, and then we'll see how that temperature changes as it goes. Alright, it has been 2 days since I finally, actually no, it's been about 24 hours since I finally changed out my card. Now that the CPU cooler is in there, look at that top number. It is no longer shooting up. I even had a gaming session last night. It didn't even go above 60, which is really good. 3rd generation i5. Really old chip that's there. And of course, if you think that this video was all about me working on my computer, it's not just that. Students, teachers, whoever you are, if you're watching this video, like, what is this coronavirus doing to change your life? Like, I've been meaning to work on this computer for over a year, and I finally did it, and it's really exciting to know that I have the potential to do this again and to continue to fix it and continue to upgrade, and to really dive into my own stuff into the future and to continue to make myself better, to teach my students, to teach y'all better. So I really want to know how coronavirus has changed your lives, so let me know in the comments below. I'm Mr. Hernandez. Keep working hard. Stay safe.